Hermit Ducks, it's Simon here. Welcome back to the Hermit's Cave. I hope everybody's having a great week. The heat continues in the UK, and I'm not going to complain. It's lovely. It's lovely to be able to walk home in the sunshine after a day at work. And happy summer solstice for everybody. Happy Letha, which was yesterday, I know, and the nights. Can you believe the nights are already drawing in? But I'm here today because I just received this deck from Schiffer Red Feather. They emailed me, I think at the start of the week, to say that it was on its way. This has been sent for the purpose of review. I chose to review it when the catalogue was released, their last catalogue, because I was super intrigued by this. For a number of reasons. One, I really like medieval decks, cat blacks, golden tarot. I love. I need to get that in the matte version whenever the old gloss versions have sold through, because I do have the gloss version. And yeah, and things like the Scapini. I just love medieval decks. Secondly, also because of the pairing. I mean, this is Caitlin Matthews and illustrated by Will Kingham. And I was really intrigued because they're quite well known for their Celtic decks. Caitlin Matthews, I mean, lots of decks and books. Ones that kind of just spring to mind is the Celtic Book of the Dead as a deck. Then we've got books like the Celtic Spirit. But she's probably best known, certainly in my sphere, in tarot world, for the Arthurian Tarot, which has been in print and out of print and republished, and yeah, so many times because it's such a popular deck of many years now. But with her husband John Matthews, they've written over 150 books on Celtic lore. And then Will Kingham, again, decks that spring to mind is like the Cathar Tarot, but for me, one of my favourite oracle decks is the Shaman's Oracle. I love it. The one with the kind of replica of the cave wall paintings and things like that. So fantastic deck and book. So I was really intrigued to see and take a look at this deck, Tarot Medieval, the Mysteries of the Initiate's Path. Lovely. I've just noticed that it was kind of down the front, so I've just opened there, so it looks like it folds out. That's a unique design, isn't it? I really like it. It's quite secure. It doesn't come off, but it folds in like opening a doorway, which is fantastic. Lovely, sturdy, matte finished box. Okay, so yeah, lovely design all the way around. Really nice box. On the back it says, the history of tarot medieval reads like an adventure novel. It was a French tarot originally, written by Francis Rolt Wheeler and artist Christian Loring, but published in the fateful year of 1939. Following the fall of France in June 1940, it seems not to have survived, and few copies of the original remain. Caitlin Matthews has translated and edited Rolt Wheeler's text and written new material for this beautiful tarot, whose art has been painstakingly restored by renowned artist Will Kingham. Tarot Medieval has a luminous, dreamlike medieval setting with fully illustrated 22 major arcana, 16 court cards and 40 pip cards. It is a pip card deck, by the way. I know not everybody likes that, but I don't have an issue at all. I read with pips. And it has cups, swords, scepters for wands, and shekels for coins. Each card explores the symbolic, initiatic, kabbalistic, numerological, astrological, and divinatory significances to nourish the spiritual life. The historical and magical context of the extraordinary deck is rooted in the Oswald Wirth School of Tarot, and Caitlin has provided new ways of using the cards that give meditational paths to explore it in a deeper way. This is a tarot whose time has come, and an inward adventure of a lifetime is waiting in the cards. This is a tarot whose time has come, and an inward adventure of a lifetime is waiting in the cards. So there we have it. So it's based on a deck that was lost during the Second World War after the fall of France, and been restored by these two experts in this field, Caitlin Matthews and Will Kingham. And I think I mentioned, but it's produced by Red Feather. It must be available now in the States for it to be sent. It's $29.99 in dollars. If you are in the UK, you do have to wait a little bit longer. It's not released in the UK until the 28th of July. So probably about 5 weeks or so from now. So not too long to wait. So let's have a look at the book, and we'll take out the cards. Looks like they're, it's quite a thick deck. They're nicely protected in this. This is a weighty box. It's lovely and sturdy. So this is the book, which is 216 pages. So let's have a look at what we get. Translated and edited with additional material by Caitlin Matthews from the original text, which was by Francis Rolt Wheeler, and art restored by originals by Christian Loring, but restored by Will Kingham. 2023. This is quite nice. To the memories of Francis Rolt Wheeler and Christian Loring. Out of heaven they shall cast not the day. They shall cast not out song from the world, but the song and the light they give. We know thy works, that they live. That's lovely. Okay, so we get an introduction, reviving the long lost tarot. Part 1 is the original text of Tarot Médiéval by Francis Rolt Wheeler. So that's quite interesting. On page 13, you get the original text, and then we go into the chapters. So chapter 1 is the initiatory path of the major arcana. Chapter 2, the 4 temples, the minor arcana. Part 2, working with the Tarot Médiéval by Caitlin Matthews, which has chapter 3, the magical background to Tarot Médiéval, and chapter 4, Tarot Médiéval in action. And then we've got our glossary notes and bibliography. Then it's got this thing here that says figures, and there's lots of figures. There's 21 figures. So it must tell you through the book where it's relating to those figures. So 147, let's go to page 147, just to give me an idea of what it's referring to. So here's 147. Oh, I see. So you've got some kind of scans or facsimiles here, and it's telling you about the figure. Although it does tell you the same underneath the figure. So for here it says an engraving made in 1608, and it says the same thing here, an engraving made of 1608. I wonder if it's going to be the same. So I'm not quite sure why it's in twice. 159. So we've got the Kabbalah Tree of Life here. Yeah, you get a little bit more text actually in the book, but I guess it's just so you can find the figures as part of the contents. So, yeah, looking at it, we get quite a bit of information. We get a colour rendition of the card. So if we go here, we'll start with the Magician. So you get the card here, and then the Magician, also referred to as the Juggler. The symbol, a dot within a circle, and the Hebrew letter is Aleph. So you get lots of esoteric kind of symbology and references with the deck. I think it, you know, picks up like what it says here actually, hermetic, kabbalistic, alchemical, astrological. So there's quite a lot of stuff there. And of course, you know, you can use all that, or you can just use it as a tarot deck. There's no hard and fast rules. It's great to have all that information there, but sometimes people get a little bit too overwhelmed and think they've got to have an in-depth knowledge of Kabbalah and Hermeticism and things like that, and you really don't. I love the Hermit. Okay, so let's take a look at the cards. I'm going to take the little plastic band off. These are nice matte cards. They're not a large card. These are the backs, which are lovely. Yeah, the last deck I got from Schiffer as well, the cards were quite small, which was the Zerna Faber Tarot. So I mean, they're not tiny, but compared to a standard tarot, you can see it's shorter and narrower. So they are a little bit smaller. The cardstock is really nice, actually. As I said, it's a thick deck. So there's a lot of durability there. It's got like even though it's matte, it's got like a shine to it. Really nice. All right, so I'm going to bring the camera down, and then we'll have a close-up look at the deck. Okay, so we're starting with our Magician. I was just having a quick look in the book just to find out about the kind of text that you get with it. What I really like is that you know, time has been taken to describe the scene as well. So as you'll see here, it says, "We see a young man, indicating humanity, made in the mental image of God. He stands before a table on which lie 3 symbols, while the 4th is in his hand." So it really describes the scene of the card as well. And then you get your initiatory significance, your symbolic correspondences, and then you get your practical divination of upright and reverse meanings. So there's quite a lot of information that you get in the book. Love the artwork. Here's our priestess. So it's not high priestess, it's priestess. Our empress. Now I did recall, I mean, some of the symbols are hard spots. So it said for the Magician, a dot within a circle, didn't it? I mean, I'm really going to have to study these, but I think the Empress is the downward pointing triangle, which is obviously the shield there. Yeah, the symbol, a downward pointing triangle. So our Emperor, he's got his orb and his scepter. Hierophant. So as you can see from these images, they are borderless with just a panel at the bottom for, and it's not overloaded with symbology, which is nice, because sometimes that can be a little bit distracting. The information is there in the book, but you just get the Roman numeral and the title. So you could just use this as a deck without, you know, exploring deeper into Hermeticism or Kabbalah. The Lovers, that's a beautiful, I love the soft tones of the colours as well. They're really, really lovely. They look a little bit sharper through the camera lens, but actually they're very, very soft palette. Our Chariot. So Justice is at 8. Hermit. Notice there's no the, you know, there's no the Emperor or the Hermit. Interesting, we can see a lot of the Hermit's face. Wheel of Fortune. Gorgeous strength card. Really like that. Hanged Man. Got these coins spilling out from the pouches as has been suspended in that way. Love the Death card. I really like that Death card. I've got different kind of feet and hands and things, but they almost look like they're on stands, like they're ornamental. Temperance. And here we have our Devil card. Okay, so let's see what the book says about what's in his hand. So it says, this card shows a billy goat devil crouched upon an altar. It has bat wings symbolising the darkness, blah, 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 blah. In his left hand, Typhon holds a sexual symbol of the lingam and yoni. Ah, it's the lingam and yoni. And then in the right hand is a downward pointing torch of hate and destruction. Two human forms, male and female, with horns symbolising the misuse of their natural powers and health, are chained to the altar or to each other. Okay, so again, that's what I love about this book. It gives you all the details. Tower card. The star. A lot of the human forms are quite elongated. I don't know if you've noticed. Very long, slender forms. I mean, they're stunning, really stunning, but it's just an observation. It's a different kind of moon card, but I really like it. Focusing more really on the path between the two towers here. Great perspective. The sun. There's a very Adam and Eve type, lovers type vibe to it, which is interesting. Oops, sorry, I took two there. Then we have Judgment. And our Fool is actually numbered 21. And I know this is from a, it's taken from an original, that looks like a shadowy crocodile in the water. Anybody else see that? I'm not sure if that is the case. Personally, I don't like my numbers, my Fools to have numbers. I don't like it to be card 21. That's just me. But anyway. And then as you say, 21, then we need the world. Okay, so I get it. I get the positioning of the Fool between Judgment and the world, but yeah, I would prefer him to be without a number. But that's just me. I'm more intrigued about this shadowy image in the water. Oh yes, so a crocodile waits with open jaws. Yeah, so it is a crocodile. You'll have to let me know your thoughts about the numbering of the Fool as card 21, what your thoughts are. Just thinking this would be lovely edged in red. I think I might edge this in red. So, as mentioned, the pips. The minors, I should say, are pips, and they look very interesting. As we got all our aces together, yeah, it looks like we've got, let's bring the camera up a little bit. Okay, so here we have our aces. The deck is arranged in a quite strange way, because then we go from the aces, then we had the courts, so all the courts together, and then we go 2 through to 10. I like the pips. I think they're very straightforward, and they're not overcomplicated. You know, they are what they are. But here we'll see our aces together, which I think represents the elements really well. So we have our shekels, which is the coins, and then we have our cups, the scepters, which are the wands, and then the swords. Okay, so I'm just going to lay these on top. So we have the 2. And again, these aren't, even though some have got different titles like scepters, it only appears for the aces and the courts. You just have color coded and numbers, so you know what they are. So, you know, for me, that's coins, easily recognizable. And they're going in color order of brown for an earthy color. We've got green, which could also be seen as an earthy color, but that's our watercolor. We've got blue for our wands, and we've got red for our swords. Yeah, and again, I can imagine people saying, well, perhaps it would be better to have cups as blue, but you know, I don't think it's necessarily relating to or trying to depict the elemental associations necessarily. So as you can see, the numbers move up. There's a different configuration when it comes to the wands and the swords. Actually, it's really, really pretty the way these are being laid out. And look at this, the different kind of sizes here. Interesting the shapes that it's making. I wonder if it makes reference in the book to, let's go to the wands, I think, if I can find them now. Yeah, so if we go to something like the 8, it just says this arcana is associated with the 2nd and 8th houses. The symbol shows 2 triangles formed of 3 scepters, one pointing up, the other pointing down, connected by 2 vertical scepters between them, making a square. So it gives you what the association anyway, as to why we've got that formation. And then we have our 10s. It's a very interesting deck. I mean, I always love it when decks that are from history get restored and we get to appreciate them again. You know, they might not be exactly as they were, but you know, it's great that we've got people like Caitlin and Will who are prepared to bring them back to life. And then we have our courts. So we have our king here, the knight, the page and the queen. I'm not quite sure why it's in that order. Scepters. And then we have, shekels. And our swords. Yeah, they're not in any particular order, it's just how they're coming. So there we have them. Let's just show you them side by side. So our kings, our 4 kings. And our 4 queens. Our 4 knights. Look at the shape that they're appearing in. And then our Page of Swords, our pages. Love this page. Wow, look at that. The Page of Coins, the Page of Shekels. Wow, we have a female page as well. Beautifully illustrated, lovely, lovely deck. I'm really interested to dive into the book. Like I say, you know, if you can read pips, it doesn't matter about the kind of other esoteric kind of overlays on the deck. You can use it as a tarot deck, or you can really explore it and find out about the original tarot of 1939, which was lost in 1940. It wasn't out for long, but we've got this reproduction here. Thanks for watching, everybody. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll be back on Saturday for a cuppa and a catch up with you all. So hopefully you'll be able to join me then. I look forward to it. Until next time, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be.